Hi everyone. I'm here with today's Bible reading. It is about 15 after 8 p.m. Sorry it is so late. It has been a pretty lazy day for me today. It's just one of those days where you don't feel like doing much. You're not very motivated to do anything. I've been having a lot of pain in my back of my lungs today. So I just didn't feel like doing much. This is the first time I've been on the computer. So I wanted to be sure and get on here and get these videos done. So let's begin with where we left off yesterday, with Acts 14:8 through 28. And we're going to see the healing of a crippled man in Lystra. In Lystra there was a certain man who lacked strength in his legs. He had been crippled since birth and had never walked. Sitting there, he heard Paul speaking. Paul stared at him and saw that he believed he could be healed. Raising his voice, Paul said, "Stand up, straight on your feet." He jumped up and began to walk. Seeing what Paul had done, the crowd shouted to the Lycaonian language, "The gods have taken human form and come down to visit us." They referred to Barnabas as Zeus and to Paul as Hermes, since Paul was the main speaker. The priest of Zeus, whose temple was located just outside the city, brought bulls and wreaths to the city gates. Along with the crowds, he wanted to offer sacrifice to them. When the Lord's messengers, Barabbas and Paul, found out about this, they tore their clothes in protest and rushed out into the crowd. They shouted, "People, what are you doing? We are humans too, just like you. We are proclaiming the good news to you. Turn to the living God and away from your worthless things. He made heaven, the earth, the sea, and everything in them. In the past, he permitted every nation to go its own way. Nevertheless, he hasn't let himself without a witness. He has blessed you by giving you rain from above, as well as seasonal harvests, and satisfying you with food and happiness." Even with these words, they barely kept the crowds from sacrificing to them. Jews from Antioch and Iconium arrived and won the crowds over. They stoned Paul and dragged him out of the city. Supposing he was dead, when the disciples surrounded him, he got up and entered the city again. The following day, he left with Barnabas for Derbe. Now they're going to be returning to Antioch. Paul and Barnabas proclaimed the good news to the people in Derbe and made many disciples. Then they returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch, where they strengthened the disciples and urged them to remain firm in the faith. They told them, "If we are to enter God's kingdom, we must pass through many troubles." They appointed elders for each church. With prayer and fasting, they committed these elders to the Lord, in whom they had placed their trust. After Paul and Barnabas traveled through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. They proclaimed the word in Perga, then went down to Attalia. From there, they sailed to Antioch, where they had been entrusted to God's grace to the work they had now completed. On their arrival, they gathered the church together and reported everything that God had accomplished through their activity, and how God had opened a door of faith for the Gentiles. They stayed with the disciples a long time. And that was Acts 14:8 through 28. I'm sorry. It was kind of rough. I know it had a lot of words I probably misspoke, and I'm sorry about that. Some of them's kind of hard for me to pronounce. I'm not sure how to pronounce them correctly. And now we're going to go on to Psalm 140. For the music leader, a psalm of David. And David always has such beautiful psalms. I love reading the Psalms of David and all the Psalms. Rescue me from evil, Lord. Guard me from violent people who plot evil things in their hearts, who pick fights every single day. They sharpen their tongues like the snakes. Spider poison is on their lips. Selah. Protect me from the power of the wicked, Lord. Guard me from violent people who plot to trip me up. Arrogant people have laid a trap for me with ropes. They've spread out a net alongside the road. They've set snares for me. Selah. I tell the Lord, you are my God. Listen to my request for mercy, Lord. My Lord God, my strong saving help. You've protected my head on the day of battle. Lord, don't give the wicked what they want. Don't allow their plans to succeed, or they'll exalt themselves even more. Selah. Let the heads of the people surrounding me be covered with the trouble their own lips caused. Let burning coals fall on them. Let them fall into deep pits and never get out again. Let no slanderer be safe in the land. Let calamity hunt down violent people, and quickly. I know that the Lord will take up the case of the poor and will do what is right for the needy. Yes, the righteous will give thanks to your name, and those who do right will live in your presence. And that was Psalm 140 for the music leader, a psalm of David. And last but not least for today is Proverbs 17:22. A joyful heart helps healing, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. And that was Proverbs 17:22. Okay guys, that was today's Bible reading. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. I hope you guys are having a great... there's a gnat in here. Look like I swatting at the air probably, but there's a gnat flying in my face. I swear there was. He's probably after my bananas in the kitchen. Every time I get fruit, I start getting gnats. I gotta fight them for my bananas. And they're not even starting to go bad. That's weird. I don't know what's up with the gnats and fruit, but they gotta have something to eat too, I guess. But I hope you guys are I hope you guys had a great Sunday and are having a great Sunday night. Ice Age Continental Drift is on HBO, one of the HBO channels. That's what I've got on here. I'm only watching it half and half. I got it muted so I can make the videos, but I've never seen this one. But we've been watching HBO all day. Big Mama's House 2 was on before this, I believe. So, just a lazy day. But I love you guys. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, guys. And God willing, I'll see you all tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye, guys. God bless.